Hello YouTube, so I know it's been quite a couple of weeks since my last video, and that's because I was finishing off my undergraduate degree. I was doing my last exam at Macquarie University, and now I'm finished. I have finished my degree. I'm just waiting to graduate, which will happen in September, and I'm waiting around to see if I get an interview for graduate medicine next year. So that's why I haven't uploaded a video for like 3 or 4 weeks, and I'm sorry about that. A lot of things have been happening in my life, but I thought I would entertain you with a story that happened to me about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And it's a story that I've been telling a lot of my friends who know that I have been quite clumsy in the past. To be fair, what happened wasn't exactly because I was clumsy. It was an accident. It could have happened to anyone. I just think it's an entertaining story. However, I will give a warning. There is blood involved in this story, and I will be putting up pictures that I took which will involve blood. In some cases, quite a bit of blood. So if you don't like blood or you're triggered by the sight of blood, you can stop watching now, and that's all cool. So what happened was I was cleaning up after breakfast, and we have these coffee latte cups, and they're quite fine glass, and I use them for our coffee machine. And this was something that I've been doing for 5 or 6 months. Like, it's something that I do every morning after I've had breakfast. I'm washing up this cup, and while I'm washing it up, I accidentally hit it against the side of the sink, and it shatters and glass goes everywhere. And there's pain in my hand. I look down at my left palm, and there's blood coming from here. I'm like, ow. Not a lot of pain, but a bit of pain, and there's a lot of blood. So I run to the bathroom, and I grab a wad of toilet paper, and I push it into the blood to try and stop the bleeding. And the blood immediately soaks through the tissue paper. I'm like, alright, there's a lot of blood. So I run to the laundry, grab a cloth, and I press the cloth into my palm, and I elevate my palm, and I wait for about a minute. And I look down, and I'm like, alright, still bleeding. Put more pressure on it, elevate it again, another minute. Look down. Now it's just kind of oozing blood. Like, it doesn't stop the bleeding, but it wasn't quite flowing as it was before. So I go to the phone, I ring my mum, because nobody's home. Ring my mum, I'm like, Mum, how do I check for glass in my wound? And she's like, run your finger over it. I run my finger over it. Alright, no glass in my wound. All good. Wash out the wound with betadine. Put some bandages on it. And I bend down to start picking up the glass. And I look at my right hand. And I kind of noticed while I was treating my left hand, that my right hand was getting covered in quite a bit of blood, and that there was a lot of blood around the house. And I assumed that was just from treating my left hand's wound. But I examined it more closely, and I realized that my right hand has been bleeding the whole time while I was treating my left hand. I actually got a second cut on my finger, although it wasn't as deep and it wasn't as worrisome as the cut on my left hand. It was still bleeding quite a lot. And when I say quite a lot, I mean like my whole hand ended up covered in blood. And I hadn't really realized this as I was trying to treat my left hand. So as I've been going throughout the house, grabbing cloths, turning on lights, ringing my mum from the phone, I'd been smearing everything with blood. So it looked like something out of a crime scene. I'm going to show you some pictures now. Again, warning, there is a bit of blood in these. So if you're triggered by the sight of blood, turn away now. You can turn off the video. All good. Yeah, so as you can see by these pictures, there was quite a bit of blood, and I was a bit worried by that. But I'm all good now. Yeah, they're healing up. Just scars now. I don't really know what the metaphor or moral of this story was. It's just an entertaining story that happened in my life, and I feel that's what you gotta put on vlogs sometimes. You gotta tell stories about your life. You gotta tell when you bleed. You bleed from here. And I hope that you will come back and see me next week. And that you have an awesome week. And don't forget to be awesome. Also, don't bleed.